Damn. Dang it. We might be cooked, y'all. We might really be cooked. All of us that are hoping for a 2026 WNBA season, this is not what we needed to be hearing. We already know Aneka Agumake put on her poo shiesty. She put on a shiesty and got shiesty with the WNBA and signed with a competitor league in Project B during the midst of a CBA negotiation as the president of the WNBPA. Conflict of interest. Now,
the basketball world is going to take off. In a never-before-seen film, Maya Moore, possibly the best WNBA player of all time, revealed some startling information about rookie sensation Caitlin Clark. However, Clark has been shattering records and changing the minds of women's game fans who have long been curious about what her childhood idol actually thought. Her rapid rise in Moore's exclusive ESPN interview finally causes her to speak up by providing an unvarnished assessment that no one witnessed. Is this the final demise of the torch moment or performed champion? Give Clark a reality, please. Verify the terms in basketball legends will leave you amazed. What's happening? We're dissecting a Evo Tal moment in women's basketball fans. As many of you are aware, Caitlin Clark has declared Maya Moore to be her Michael Jordan-like basketball idol when you're playing legends and your rising stars make significant connections. Throughout her career, Clark frequently identified the athlete who shaped her game as her biggest source of inspiration. He four-time.
Now, we are finding out that Kelsey Mitchell may be headed to Project B next. This is insane. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, hype the video. Shout out to Mick. Shout out to Mick Talks Hoops. I actually saw he put up something about this where Project B is basically following everybody that's already signed to the league. Is looking like this is nuts. So shout out to Mick. Kelsey Mitchell may be headed to Project B next. We got what?
Think about Caitlin Clark? Finally, we have our answer. And before we get into more specific comments about Clark, it comes straight from the legend herself in an eye-opening ESPN interview where Moore was candid and open about Clark and the next generation of celebrities taking women's basketball to unimaginable heights. Let's discuss why Maya Moore, who has won 4 WNBA titles, is unquestionably the greatest former WNBA player among the greatest to have ever touched a basketball. UConn became a Hall of Fame finalist on the first ballot after winning 2 NCAA titles, 2 Olympic gold medals, and a CV. In the realm of basketball, Moore's perspective is crucial.
Where Project B is basically following everybody that's already signed to the league is looking like this is nuts. So shout out to Mick. Kelsey Mitchell may be headed to Project B next. We got what? Less than 2 weeks left in this 30-day window for the negotiation between the WNBPA and the WNBA. This is wild work, man. Wild work, man. I don't know what. Caitlin might have to be next. Everybody else is going and taking the baggy bag.
Connection? More significantly, Moore left basketball at the height of her career to focus on social justice efforts, particularly helping to free Jonathan Irons, who had been wrongfully convicted. Lack of involvement in the game coincided with Clark's rise, creating an interesting relationship where Clark looked up to someone who wasn't playing actively while she developed her own game. This generational bond is an indication of something deeper. It involves more than just basketball abilities. The growth of women's sports and the shift in power from one historical era to the next were particularly significant in the generation that created the basis for the strong attraction that players find appealing. Without pioneers like Moore who elevated the games, Clark would not have been able to achieve the social media viewing figures participation and broad notoriety that he is currently experiencing.
Man, I don't know what. Caitlin might have to be next. Everybody else is going and taking the baggy bag. We already know. Look, let's just get to this. So on Project B's Twitter, right? Global Project B, boom, they're only following 11 people. Now we know Alyssa Thomas has signed, Nneka Agumake has signed. Those are the signings that are public already. Those are already out, right? Those are already out. Now, they're also following certain players, Jonquel Jones, Marina Johannes, Jules.
Let's now look at what Moore actually said in this interview with Clark. Many players were using Moore's Caitlin Clark website, according to the ESPN host, who also asked about Moore's inspiration program and how her extraordinary talent made her a contender for the squad and national team. Despite their different paths, both athletes had one thing in common: they went beyond their sport to become a cultural phenomenon. They were also among the first WNBA players to receive large endorsement deals and global recognition. Even while Clark has taken business appeal to previously unheard of levels, reaching agreements with major brands and generating television numbers that are comparable, the comments made by well-known men about Clark and sports come at a time when the WNBA is experiencing unprecedented growth. In 2024, television ratings significantly increased ticket sales, and social media and engagement reached all-time highs, mostly as a result of people's curiosity about Clark and the other rookies. Rather than detesting change, Moore, who was a part of a prior wave of WNBA advancement during her playing career, appeared to recognize and appreciate this. The intergenerational link is particularly important for female athletes, who haven't always had fame, contrast to men's basketball, where debates over LeBron James versus Michael Jordan predominate. Women's basketball hasn't consistently received the media attention needed for these intergenerational conversations to flourish. The greater the Clark dynamic, the more progress this field has made. Evidence that women's basketball has produced enough consistency and exposure for these connections to be commended. Moore's advice also shows that she understands Clark's unique challenges with female athletes, particularly those who are successful. The mainstream by emphasizing Moore's leadership and preparedness, Clark is given the tools he needs to navigate a situation that can be extremely challenging for well-known female athletes. Celebrities often face different expectations and criticisms compared to their male colleagues. It's vital to think about how Moore's outlook has been influenced by her absence from basketball. Since stepping away from the game to focus on Moore's social justice work has acquired a more all-encompassing perspective on life outside this experience seems to inform sports or counsel to Clark. She's talking about how to improve not just as a basketball player but also as both an individual and a leader. In contrast to some other legendary athletes who have seemed unwilling to accept their successes, Moore is ready to welcome the next generation. This generosity speaks well of Moore and provides an example of what it means to be a great athlete passed on rather than becoming jealous and guarded against Clark. Having her idol provide her with this kind of support and direction must be quite important to her during her time in college. Additionally, Clark received criticism from several quarters during her WNBA debut season, with some questioning if she was deserving of the attention she received given that there were more people with outstanding basketball credentials. Publicly commend her skills and potential provides a convincing affirmation of the communities that play basketball. The majority of people's reactions to Moore's comments have been positive, with many seeing it as an important intimate moment between two eras of women's basketball. Both players' ERS supporters have expressed.
Jewel Lloyd, Camila Cardoso, who I think is definitely going to go over there, and Kelsey Mitchell. They going after some heavy hitters, y'all. Project B not playing. They're not getting no middle of the pack players. They're not doing any of that. These are just the WNBA players. They're signing. They're going to be signing the top players from China, the top players from your all time. Emma Mason probably be over there. All of them. Kelsey Mitchell is right here at the top of the list. And listen, man, Kelsey Mitchell is not no.
Gratitude for Moore's willingness to engage with Clark's impact and for her thoughtful assessment of what Clark needs to continue improving as a player. As we predict, Moore's comments suggest that women's basketball has a bright future with role models like Clark who are more hospitable and supportive of emerging talent. The scene is ready for further growth and development of Moore's emphasis on game leadership. Clark's development points to a future in which he can succeed on their own, but also nurture others nearby, like Moore did during her playing career. In addition to discussing the overall growth of women's basketball, Moore's conversation with a former UConn star revealed enthusiasm for innovative ideas, including an unprecedented 3 WNBA-related competition stars. "When I talk about unparalleled, It's a beautiful example of how people, especially women, can be creative and create something new. When you allow people to spread the word, "Hey, we're attempting to produce something fresh and amazing, let's meet the need." Then it happens, and it's very fantastic. This comment refers to her advice for Moore's understanding that the women's sport is currently undergoing growth and change, with new opportunities opening up for athletes who are prepared to take the initiative and innovate. Moore seems to believe that Clark has the potential to advance this evolution, particularly if she continues to develop. In essence, Moore's words as a leader regarding Clark's embodiment of many legends' judgment of a growing star. By acknowledging Clark's talent and contributing to the ongoing story of a sport that continues to reach new heights with each generation, they symbolize the continuity and progress of women's basketball in general. For fans of basketball, this exchange between Moore and Clark's idol and admirer from the legendary age provides a rare insight at the tissue that binds sports past and present. A reminder that joy and flexibility never change, even in the face of declining records and the emergence of new stars who are ready for leadership brilliance. As Clark preserves Moore's comments from her WNBA career, they serve as a roadmap for what she might yet do in a sport that is growing more quickly than in the past, as well as a validation and challenging acceptance of what she has already accomplished. Two of its brightest performers have a brief yet significant conversation that transcends genres and statistics. There you have it. Maya Moore's candid assessment of Caitlin Clark reveals what this basketball great truly believes to be the newest superstar in women's basketball. What are your thoughts on Moore's recommendations? Will she take up these leadership responsibilities for Clark's lessons and grow into the WNBA's next PH? Kindly provide your thoughts in the comments section. Click like and subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest WNBA news and analysis if you thought this analysis of this historic basketball event was unforgettable. Thus, you never miss legends like Maya. More talks on today's celebs. Thank you for viewing, and I hope to see you again. Maya Mo is your favorite player in the next video.